welcome to my channel. Today is a very special I have with someone I have greatly admired for online for years, and I am so honored that he decided to come and collaborate with me. And the character we are going from his online series, Mythed Up. My lovely collaborative guest, please introduce yourself.
My name is Maccus Norman. I am a webtoon creator / animator. I make a lot of fun TikToks and shorts and all that fun stuff. The webcomic is called Mythed Up. You can read it at mythedup.com or just on Webtoons under the Canvas category. I also have a YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, I guess Facebook account, all under at Maccus Norman. Same username. It's Maccus Norman with 2 N's.
I really appreciate it. And today the character we are doing is one named Maya. She is the owner of the Birdcage, I believe, which is a club, the Mythed Up world.
Nightclub, variety club, cabaret, whatever her tastes are at the time.
And she is honestly a really fun character. Definitely in my top 3, personally.
I really enjoy her as a character too, and especially since she was just like a lot of my characters are just off the cuff designs. So yeah, I really like how she came out. Very sassy.
And I love her. So on here, I have a spreadsheet that I made specifically so that way I could have an easy way to access on a computer the spreadsheet. And it's a pain in the butt formatting a Word document so the paper works, that's typically printed, works right on a computer, right? And I just find using a spreadsheet is easier. That is why I made this template using a spreadsheet. And over here I have a README page, which is where we can put all of like the role play notes, that sort of thing, like, and character notes, special character notes for things like how you would role play this character, that sort of thing. Put a link to both the character sheet for Maya and and the blank template I made. So that way anyone can make their own character within the rules, as well as the direct link to the Amazon page and drive-through RPG page of the TTRPG that a close friend of mine made from the hilt called Lenharrow. I love it. It's built off of old editions of D&D with a bunch of changes added to it so it makes more sense. And I love it.
No, it sounds fun.
Yeah. And on the README page, I have also referenced different pages, but keep in mind the pages I referenced is the extended edition. Well, they call it the enhanced edition. But basically, it's just a deluxe version of the basic handbook that has a ton more on it than what the light version is. And the light version is just easy reading.
Very cool.
Yeah, and thankfully, my lovely guest Marcus.
Maccus. No, you're fine.
Oh.
Everyone calls me Marcus. I guess it's just
I try not to.
No, it's how the brain reads the more common. It is, and I'm usually translates it over to a more common name. So we'll understand.
I'm usually really good about the Maccus thing.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Well, he was generous enough to send me this PDF of Maya's character sheet in Dungeons and Dragons. So tell me, how many sessions have you played with this character sheet?
I have not. So I have the what is known as a terminal character creation syndrome, where whenever I'm playing a character,
so this
I've created a lot of different character sheets. So I've not played her in a campaign yet.
Okay. Yeah,
I
that makes sense. That
I get
makes
obsessed.
sense.
I get obsessed with making a character, and then as soon as I start playing it, and I get obsessed with playing that character, and the second I start playing that character, I start planning my next character. So,
Right, right. I kind of do the same thing, but I almost never have the willpower to actually like sit down and do this, which is why I'm doing this. The fun thing about Lenharrow is that it doesn't use a level system. So I have over here, if I just highlight the box right here, is instead of levels, it goes off of number of adventures, and it would enhance the stats and ability scores based on that. And it also has a lot more options, so like lifestyle and profession are the Lenharrow versions of backstory and class.
okay.
And you wind up with a lot more options because you can mix and match all of them, and there's way more than just 12 professions or classes. Each one even has their own like sub, and there's a ton there you can work with. So I have her as guildsman with the profession of merchant because owner of the birdcage.
hmm
Like that just makes the most sense for her. After I after I'm done with typing up the basic character infos like the stats from the Dungeons and Dragon from the character sheet you sent to me, we can move on to like skills and stuff that she winds up getting.
hmm
And I'm just gonna point out one unique thing here. I forgot to put down the sub race I wanted to give her. Was okay. So she is a droll. I have her
hmm
as that because that is the Lenharrow dragon race. Luckily, the game
hmm
is set up where you can have it ranging from mostly human appearance to full blown scaly.
Okay.
She is a droll because she is a Quetzal, which, from
hmm
my understanding of it, is basically just ancient Brazilian dragon.
Correct. Ancient
Bit of an
South
oversimplification.
American deity. Yeah.
I know it's a bit of an oversimplification, but like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. And I have her as a city one because based on what I've seen in the shorts, you don't really haven't gotten to her backstory in the comics yet. And honestly, I
hmm
respect it. And but from what I've seen with that, she was raised within a larger community of other Quetzals. So I
Um.
have her as city because honestly, I
mhm.
would just define a large community of like one or multiple races just living together as a city personally.
Yeah. I would say that she grew up around three other Quetzals, and the rest of the people that she was living in the city with were humans. So,
Okay,
uh,
so she was living in a city.
but she wasn't in a large settlement. Yes.
That's your basic alignment stuff, except this one is like it essentially gives you a fatal flaw thing where
hmm
something where you have to do at least once per session. So like Wanderlust, you have a set amount of sessions you can be in one place before you have to move to another location.
hmm
Along with a bunch of other stuff. Like if you're a neat freak, then you have to at least freak out about dirt and mud at least once per session, right? That sort of thing. It's
Okay.
more recommended for advanced players. So I'm just going to be leaving that blank for the things.
Okay.
A title, though, can be deliberated on as I fill in this thing. I won't be able to. Oh, wait. Anyway,
No
what kind
problem.
of titles would you like to give her? Because that's not a roleplay thing. That is 100% a. You have it as what you want her to be heralded as.
Hmm.
Like, what
Um.
does the person shout out when announcing her presence? What does the herald do when you arrive at a ball and shout out her name to announce her presence?
Well, these days she just goes by basically Mama Maya. Uh, she doesn't have. She is grown past the point where she has a need for a lot for the self-preening names that she used back in the past. She's she's still a bit, what's the word for it? She self-glamorizes still quite a bit these days, but she leaves the great and terrible uh names and backstory to, stay in the past. Um so Miss Maya or Mama Maya would probably be what she would most likely go as. I know that's not a super interesting title, but that would be the one that she most likely would go with these days.
Fair enough. Now, these ability scores, agility, charm, insight, intellect, might, vitality, they all very much have very obvious counterparts in Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Hmm.
It's like ordered a bit differently than in Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm not complaining about that. By the way, I am curious, what inspired Maya's design? Like her humanoid
um,
design.
I mean, it wouldn't. I would be lying if I said Chell from the Road to El Dorado didn't play a part in her character design.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's fairly obvious. Um, uh,
Kinda, actually.
yeah, I wanted her to have the bangs. That was always going to be a primary part of her design. And then the wing skirt was another thing that I just thought, because that was less that I picked that from another character that had something similar, and more along the lines of I always saw characters that would use their wings as like a cloak, but I would rarely ever see them use their wings as a skirt. And I'm like, I want to turn that into a character, and that's what that turned into. Um, and there is a book series called, the series itself is called the Heartstriker series, and the first book is called Nice Dragons Finish Last, and the primary character is from a family of Quetzalcoatlus,
Now,
and feathered serpents, and I didn't base her off of any specific character from that. It was more along the lines of I just wanted to create a feathered serpent type character. So I did some deep diving into the lore, started building some character designs, and eventually created her and her siblings.
now that's cool. That's cool. I never heard of any of those series.
Yeah, no, the Heartstriker series is very fun urban fantasy, modern fantasy style series, that people would definitely be interested in, I believe, if people would take recommendations.
Honestly,
Yeah, Nice
yeah.
Dragons finished last. Rainy Reader said it in the chat.
Yeah. I love looking up stuff. Like, I'm a big reader. So I love getting recommendations for people. So one random thing though that I thought when I first saw Maya was like, "Oh my gosh, she looks like Dora."
Dora. No,
Dora
Dora
the
was never
Explorer. I don't
a
know why. That
huh?
plays like zero part in her design, and I know that.
Yeah, Dora was never a consideration with that.
I don't know why, but that was the first thing that came to mind.
No, I guess I can see it. I'm not sure how, but sure.
Yeah, immediately after, I'm like, oh wait, no, El Dorado. Oh, I've only seen that movie like a few times, but like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the purple shirt.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's funny.
So one fun thing about the Drolls is that they have like essentially two different sets of things, one for the main race and one for the sub race.
Mm-hmm.
So the main race has like they have characteristics of all basic Drolls on here.
Okay.
And I always forget what each and every one of these abbreviations they have on this page are. They have them listed at the front of the book, but I always forget. And when I tell you, I created this series specifically so I could have an excuse to try and memorize it. And I'm just gonna skip the stuff I can't remember and just stick with what I can.
Okay.
What I even have on the first one is I recommend getting the handbook, like at least the light version, so that way you know what you're doing when you're playing this character. So, Drolls have a walking base of 18 feet per combat round and a flying speed of 36. Okay, NDR. Natural abilities, tend to just be combat things. So that's defense. So attack or weapon type. So natural abilities that are listed right here are gonna, in the handbook, are gonna typically fall under attack. So what you're gonna want to do is type in the name of it. So you have bite, which I can find on at another time on another thing. Okay, wing buffet, claw, and ice swoop, which would have the caveat that you already be in air, of course. And you can also tail swipe. One thing that's fun about this is I actually have a character and have played as a droll like this before. So I do know a little bit of what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay. And you also get a breath weapon, which the type of breath weapon it will be is gonna be under which droll subrace you are.
So basically her elemental subclass.
Then there's these special senses that you get, which I have to put down here because that is the base. BRA is essentially your natural senses, and there are different levels of senses that essentially allow for it's basically like how overwhelmed is your character when they enter a room. So one is the base. So like humanoid, you and me, what you hear on a daily basis, right? So hearing number 2, you would essentially be able to eavesdrop a little bit on the other side. If you're like happen to be on the other side of the door, you can listen on what's going on in the other room. Without much trouble. Let's see here. Scent level 2 essentially, let's put it this way. Essentially, it allows you to smell the basic components of what's in food, right? Like, you'd be able to discern what ingredients are in the food item based on smell alone.
Okay.
Not how much. You would need, like, 3 or 4 in order to be able to do that, but you can smell, like, the basic ingredients.
Okay. So what would the upper limits of the sense ratings be?
The upper limit, so the maximum it can go to is 4. And at level 4, basically nothing's off limits. Let's see.
Okay.
So like, if you were to have vision level 4, essentially you'd have what would be called true sight in Dungeons and Dragons. So they would have to roll insanely high in order to trick you with, like, illusions and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it would... Basically the same thing would happen with your other 5 senses. If you were to have level 4. Like,
okay.
You'd be a bloodhound, essentially, if you had scent level 4.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. If I were to be going based on anything for this character in particular, I'd say her vision is probably her highest. But yeah, that would probably be the highest one out of her 3.
Regarding vision
or out of her senses. Yeah. Not in the character sheet itself. Just saying, if we're just going off of the character.
So under here, I am going to add on another list item here. I'm just going to put this under racial traits. This will be just a special bit of homebrew for Miss Maya especially. Where I'm going to give her a soul sight, where essentially it'll be for 1d4 minutes in-game plus session number of adventure Maya is how long she has to stare into a character's eyes, see their story. Essentially, the soul sight ability will allow another player to share their backstory, like specific details of their backstory with Maya. And Maya will just be stuck there for however many minutes you roll on a d4, plus the number of adventures the character she's trying to read into has been on. I personally think it would be a good idea because that is kind of what happened with Angel in the comics.
With her kind of doing the soul gaze thingy.
Yeah. Oh, it's called Soul Gaze. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's a book series called The Dresden Files, which calls it a soul gaze. I haven't officially named it in the named that ability that she does in the series yet, but that's just the term that comes to my head when I think of something similar.
Fair enough. I've been calling it soul sight this whole time just because I thought it sounded cool.
Yeah, we keep it with soul sight. Soul sight sounds cool too. We don't need to change it to soul gaze.
Fair enough.
Soul sight works.
This will be both good, and this ability would be both good and a hindrance to her. Because if a character she's looking into has like 100+ adventures under their belt, which number of adventures is just how many sessions you've played with this character, which is actually how you enhance your ability scores. Which, by the way, with rules as written, cannot exceed 20.
Okay.
Height, weight, and age. Height. What is her actual height? I could not figure that out.
Probably, it fluctuates a bit, but she probably hovers around 5'4", 5'5". She's not very tall.
Oh, okay, so around average. Got around average height for an American woman. Gotcha. I'm just doing her humanoid height because I know that the word I can't pronounce.
You just say serpent, her serpent form.
Yeah, is gonna be ginormous.
Yeah.
And I am not gonna worry about that. Alright, under resistances, I'm gonna put down immunities, which are toxins, poisons, and gas attacks. Also, any physical transformations, which is a simple way of saying no one can magically modify her appearance without her own permission.
Yeah, so she get basically immune to polymorph and stuff
Pretty
like
much,
that.
Yeah. And there is actually a version of polymorph in this game too. Yeah.
Very cool.
Innate abilities, T-Magic, 5% HD. I think that has something to do with the defense rate. And that's essentially just like magical attacks that require a defense thing grants you a specific amount of immunity based on what the opponent rolls, I think, if I'm remembering right. Literally no one is here to correct me on this, so yeah, this is fun. And morph self minor, that's what you've got. And when it comes to morph self, that essentially allows you to transform from humanoid to her serpent form once a day. Okay. Like, on here it says one humanoid /HD/day, so whatever HD is, essentially is the number of times you can transform. But it's just easier to think of like once a day. Yeah. No, I get it. And you can dispel it at will. Okay, and onward to the talents for the city. Ancient languages. I'm just gonna control F on this. Okay. Essentially, that allows you to speak in ancient tongues. And you get a modifier of 0. Okay. And also city familiarity. There it is, found it. With an also 0 modifier. You can spend CGPs, which I can get to in a minute, to get yourself another modifier if you want for it. But that modifier will also increase as you play with the character and enhance the ability scores.
Okay.
See here, you also get modern languages, so you can speak multiple languages of the present day. In other words, you know slang!
Speak two languages, English and bad English.
Yep. You can speak 2 languages, Latin and Oi, what you doing? And sociology. Sociology is one I don't really see used often, honestly. But that's basically just people and people handling, as far as I understand.
Which one? Sociology?
Sociology, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure the exact definition of it. It's in the handbook. I have not read it front to back yet.
Okay.
So, as far as I can tell, that is just people handling and how well you can handle people.
Got it.
Okay, now back to here. And yeah. Alright. Innate abilities charge. Oh, HD! Okay, I found what HD was. It's hit degree. Just remembered that.
Okay.
HD stands for hit degree.
So is that like how easy it is to hit somebody?
Everyone starts out, and I always forget how you calculate hit degree. I think I have that on Nifty's, actually. If I can just find it. Nope. Okay. You can either start off with a hit degree of 1. I'm curious though, what made you come up with the idea for the magical SWAT team? I'm blanking on their name right now.
The DPD, the Department for Protection of Demi-Humans. So when I was putting together the idea of the world itself, I was making it so that magical creatures, mythological creatures, and everything were living amongst like regular humans. So that wound up turning into like the logical next step of like what kind of issues would we see that don't often get talked about in other modern fantasy type situations. And I thought, well, I'm fairly sure that unlike unfortunately in our world it's very popular, but in this world, like, there would be a whole separate faction of demi-human like trafficking, and then I came up with some characters that I like, I should come up with a police force that specifically is set to deal with demi-human trafficking, and then because I came up with the idea of Delia first, and then I came up with the idea that she didn't have any wings because she had fallen in with such a situation. And then I'm like, well, I need to design the people. I need to create the group that helped her out of that situation. And then the crew just grew from there. So it was all along the lines of just, I created a character, created a bit of their backstory, realized that their backstory has a whole other facet of this world that needs to be built upon, and that facilitated more characters being created, and it's like a self-perpetuating machine. But yeah, the DPD. So I created 3 separate magical law enforcement units: the DPD, Demi-Human Department for Protection of Demi-Humans. Dale, which is the department for No, I'm not going to be able to remember that now. Hold on. Luckily, I know the exact name of the page that I placed those on. I've got Dale for the Department of Arcane Law Enforcement. So that's like, uh, kind of like how there's just there's laws you shouldn't break when you're working with magic and working with like forces beyond mortal reckoning. They're the people who make sure like the black magic stays within specific parameters, and people aren't using magic to break the law in a bunch of different ways. And then we've got the DMWC, which is the Department of Mystical Wildlife Conservation, which deals with non-sentient magical creatures. So the DPD and the DMWC often have like they often work together on similar things, but it's the difference between like human the officers that do the FBI who when they deal with like human trafficking in our world versus the forest services or the uh, uh, wildlife police, anti poaching and stuff like that.
Yeah. Honestly, that is really cool. I always thought it was a pretty cool thing. Like, also Mania, really.
Manaya, yeah.
That one person that could not give less of a crap.
Yeah, she's definitely got a bit of a Death Seeker personality. She, a lot of characters are actually transplants from other characters that I had created in the past, and I'm like, I wonder how I can fit them into this world. And Manaya is one of those characters. When I was at a big
Yeah,
cyberpunk event,
I can
cyberpunk
definitely
event.
see it after reading your Dungeons and Dragons series.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can see the similarities. And honestly, I'm not upset about it. It's just kind of fun.
Yeah.
Now we are onward to onto the lifestyle stuff, which is the guildsman.
Okay.
So guildsman gets bonus starting CGPs of 75 because of that's just what you get when it comes to them. You get a bonus with perception, which is a bit farther below than what we're working with here.
Okay.
Let's see here. And you get 10 starting percentage skills with guildsman. So, which one is the question?
Okay, so go ahead and read those off to me again.
Okay, so these guild percentage skills are really fun.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't include archer, kill opponent percentages, and shop talk. So, guildsman, you actually naturally get shop talk, which is basically like you can, use business, professional terms when talking with another person of the same profession.
Okay.
And let's see here now. These percentage things, I'm not going to worry about minstrel songs because she ain't no minstrel.
Okay.
And so the percentage skills we have to choose from are quite fun. There is avert normal traps, breach with aimed strike, bribe, climb walls, communication, concealment, detect concealed doors, detect gems, detect illusions, detect magic, detect noise, detect secret doors, escape bonds, find/remove traps, hide behind any object, hide in shadows, identify field/order, identify objects, minor vigilance, move silently, open locks, pickpockets, poison/antidote use, read languages, read magic, silent swimming, smooth surface climbing, superior lock picking, thievery, and tunneling.
Okay, so how many do I get to choose?
Let's see here. It says you get 10 to start with.
10 of and different skills?
Yeah, different percentage skills.
Okay. If I had to pick, I'd probably go with
Intent.
pickpockets. See, I think pickpockets would probably be one of them. Minor vigilance, identify objects. Let's see here, escape. detect magic and illusions.
So you're that
Uh,
6.
concealment, communication. Uh, then I'd probably go with bribe and avert normal traps.
Alright, and the percentage you would get on those is gonna be equal to your guildsman perception.
Okay.
As far as I can tell. Let's see
Okay.
here. You get 2 faith points, which is clear over on the basics page here. So faith points is a special thing that's really fun. It's essentially a secondary thing that you can. It's a secondary form of currency, sorta, that you can have in the game. Where it's essentially you can use 1 faith point to add a certain number to. You spend 1 faith point, you get a +1 to your roll, and so on and so forth. So it's like you roll a critical failure, you can spend a certain amount of faith points in order to succeed at that
Okay.
roll. Kind of like an, oh crap, but through sheer luck you wind up, but at the last second you wind up succeeding, sort of thing.
Okay.
These are invaluable for characters and players early on. But after a while, you start accumulating a bunch, so you wind up just doing dumber and dumber stuff just to use them.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
Gotta-
a great system. See here. Hindrances. I'm just going to put hindrances on the readme page. Which, that is what I was talking about earlier. Where it's, you have to, where there's certain things that happen in roleplay and stuff that wind up limiting your character. Let's see here. In here it says learn all non-aligned skills at times 10, which what times 10 means is up to the ref. I have a ref where it's like, where they're like, it just takes you longer to learn a thing. The ref I have happens to be the creator. That's generally what he tends to go for. But, yeah, it's up to the referee's discretion on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, and you purchase all skills alignments at times 2. And again, up to ref discretion. I have a ref that's not nice enough. That's like, it means if you are aligned to a set of skills, it'll take you you'll be able to learn twice as fast as a normal person, sort of thing. Like, it'll take half the time.
Okay.
So, yeah, not all hindrances are bad. Let's see here.
Makes sense.
And skills alignment here. Okay. Let's see here. Skill alignment. G purchased at half cost. Oh, that's guild skills. So essentially, guild skills are half off for a guildsman.
Okay.
Which for the kind of...
Perks of the job.
Yeah. 50% off CGP. Basically... So yeah, it's a perk of the job, and for a character like Maya, who's basically a goddess, is incredibly invaluable.
Yeah.
And for perceptions, okay, the starting percentage for their perception skills, which are gonna be these percentage skills over here, anyway, is gonna be a certain percentage for their perception skill is equal to their insight score. Which means all I gotta do is go over to basic information. Scroll on down to insight here. Where is it? There it is. Insight is basically your wisdom. And copy and paste, baby. So I gotta do that for a hot minute. What else? What? What else? Oh yeah, in the books, there's that thing mentioned, the dimension thing. I'm trying to remember what the specific term was called, but you only used it once.
What was that? What term?
The when the great dimension thing.
The ripple?
The ripple. Thank you. Yes, that one. What exactly happened with that?
Without getting into too spoilery territory, it's basically when the world's when myths and magic got when myths and magic like basically became part of the regular world. So our history as a whole, as a whole, was pretty much ours up until that event happened. At which point, like, myths and magic and everything became like part of like everyday society. A lot of urban fantasy stories like to keep like it's a a magical society behind, in the underground or behind the scenes of the regular world. I decided to do more of an interest or more of a version where uh everything's just out in the open. I thought it'd be more interesting to play it that way. So yeah, the ripple is basically the event that caused the world to diverge from, the history that we know of.
All right. Makes sense. I kind of figured. But it helps to ask to fill in the silence.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so now I have the percentage in there. Let's see here. A non-guildsman character aligned guild skills may purchase with 5,000 CGPs. And it starts the same percentage as the guildsman. The skill can be increased one of two ways. Why am I just reading this aloud? No one asked.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So, like, persuasion or charm. How far back was this?
How far back was the event that the ripple?
No, the Rainy Reader asked, so, like, persuasion or charm.
That was like 20 minutes ago, I think. It was a while back. I think that was when we were going over the base, like the charisma skills when we were talking about the shop talk, I think.
Yeah, okay, yes. So, shop talk, that one isn't really, that one would be defined as charisma. In this one, it be listed as charm. And persuasion is also a charm-based skill.
Okay.
So yeah, charm is basically everything that requires charisma. For it, let's see now. After that... Okay, that means we can move on to the next part of the thing. One thing I love is that this book is very linear in how you can do things with... I just don't have it written down in a linear way. That's fun. I had it written down more linearly when I was doing Nifty. Wow. But like, you can do this without having to jump around in the book too much. And just get everything done within like the first 20 pages. Well, on this first page.
Okay.
I have to clarify, first page can be done within first 20 pages of the handbook. So now we are on to the merchant. The skill alignment. I'm gonna have to write that down on here. Arc and G. That means arcane and guild skill. So, of course, bonus skills, shop talk, and communication. Communication. Which one did I have communication under? Oh, there it is. You get a communication, additional 25% to communication. Which was one you already got. So you might want to pick another one for your 10 percentage skills.
me look here.
If
Uh,
you don't mind.
which one should I need something instead of communication?
Yeah, communication is one you already get thanks to your life thanks to
Let's
your profession
let's
of
go with let's
merchant.
go with identify field slash order.
Okay, identify field slash order. Yeah, basically who you're aligned with. That makes sense. Because she was able to tell that the girl with the chameleon stickers was DPD at like a glance.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Bonus talents. You don't have any weapon talents. And lifestyle. Oh, here we go. For lifestyle, you get business sense. Where is Bill's business sense? I should have had my physical copy of these things up so I knew.
No problem.
Oh my gosh. It's okay. It's okay. I am learning. I am learning still. This is fine. Weapons. No. I think that's going to be under talents, I think. Business sense. Business sense. Aha! Yes! Yes! I remember more than I think I do. Yes! Okay. Business sense 0. You get scribe, which is essentially like the journaling skill. Journaling, writing, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Scribe 0. Etiquette. By the way, the 0 thing is just a modifier, so how much you add on. If you purchase the skill again or get an advancement, you get a +1 to your modifier.
Okay.
Depending on rank, which is again determined by how many sessions you actually play with the character. Let's see here. Etiquette. Etiquette. Where are you? There's that charm skill. Boop. And bookkeeping. Bookbinding. Here it is. Bookkeeping. Basically the accounting skill.
I guess we'll accept bookkeeping.
Yeah. Like you can just bunch it all up. Okay, and one hindrance for this, which is honestly the hindrance is actually why I chose this for Maya.
Yeah.
Come on. There we go. And that is you must maintain a business. You can go off on adventures, do whatever you want, but you have to have a business to maintain between sessions. Like, so if you're at your home base town, you have to have a business there. And
Okay.
that way that your character runs in between adventures or sessions.
All right. So to continually keep her class, I guess she has to continually have the business.
Exactly. Yes. Let's see your optional races. And Griffinite. That just defines the basics of it. Okay. Onward to the charts to fill out the rest of this page, because if you didn't notice, it's pretty darn barren. And I am so tired of this split screen thing. I am just moving this over here. and
Okay.
And I'm just gonna have OBS on a smaller screen. There! I should have done this from the start.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh man, this is fun. We're having fun here.
Oh yeah, totally. It's always fun messing with character sheets for anyone who plays TTRPGs.
Oh yeah, I don't make anywhere near enough of these, and it shows. Okay. Let's see here. In the meantime, while I'm trying to turn to the pages that have the charts and filling that in, why don't you tell me about your character model? Like, does your character model have a... Because I noticed you had one on your streams. I don't pop in on your streams very often. But honestly, I think the model's pretty cute. So
Oh, thank you.
I'm wondering if the character has, like, its own name, personality, or something like that.
No, it's just a slime version of me. I just the model name is SLI and then ME is capitalized, so it's slime me. Uh, really not anything, not any specific backstory or anything like that. Probably if I had to pick something, I'd probably attach the character to the Mema Slime race that I created for D&D. Uh, that I'm currently playing through another session with or another campaign with. Really, I love their slimes and mimics are my two favorite like D&D monster races. So if I had to pick between the two, I went with slime. And it my one of my good friends, Disharmonic, actually made the model for me, and it was actually a surprise when he showed it to me. So yeah, I guess a lot of YouTubers have backgrounds or have like lore videos for their slimes. I guess I don't. I probably should at some point. But as of right now, he's just a cute little slime doing his best to run a tavern.
That's adorable, and I love it. I'll love
Thank
with
you.
you. I wish I had the fabric to make a plushie of him. Just because, again, the model is cute and I want to squeeze it.
Make sure you use like really soft feathers so it's a very plushy.
Oh, yeah. Like, felt would be one of the perfect things. Just because it's just very squeezable.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And you're gonna laugh at this. I'm looking at the ability score adjustments, which takes the same place as modifiers in D&D.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kidding you not. The ones you have listed for your character for Maya on the D&D sheet are actually the same ones used in Lenharrow.
Very cool.
So I
Well,
don't
that
need
makes
to
it
do
easy, right?
anything. That's great. That's always great to find out.
Makes the job a whole lot easier, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. Here we go. Now this is a fun thing because we are into the main meat of this sheet. So that's the
Cool.
ability score things. So you notice how all of each of these seem to have their own little rows of stuff. Of just like of extra stuff listed right next to the thing. Okay. So that is actually going to play a part that is other things that are defined by your scores. So defense adjustment, that is essentially your modifier for defensive rolls. Like, give me something you would have to roll a defense for. Like to try and dodge or avoid, that sort of thing.
I don't know if we were saying is someone getting angry and throwing a knife in the at the throwing a kitchen knife. That's fairly recent, right?
Yeah, that's perfect. So then you would add or subtract, depending on your ability score, you would add or subtract from it.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever would happen when you added or subtracted from it would let you dodge the attack. So I could roll a 15. Let's just say I have a -3 and I rolled a 15. If I didn't have that -3, that would have been a fail because I have to roll within the number of what my agility score is.
Okay.
So, but because I would have a -3 and I rolled a 15, that would make the thing I rolled 12. Therefore, making it barely a success.
Okay. Yeah, basically, so basic, a lot like the regular D&D,
Yeah.
D&D, skill saves.
Exactly, yes. And this,
Okay.
it's just listed out during specific things for different skills, just to make it easier on the player, and less for the player to memorize or debate about with their ref.
Super easy. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here for the 12 agility score. Yeah, it's basically zeros all across the board.
Yeah, she's not. The character when I created her for the character sheet, I did the basic point buy system, So I was stuck within specific parameters for how I would create the character. And I wanted charisma to be really high up there because that would be her primary trait.
Yeah.
So D&D isn't the best for oh, sorry. D&D isn't the best for transferring like uber powerful characters into the medium.
Yeah.
And still keeping them as badass as you think as they are in your head.
Oh yeah, no. And that's what makes the Lenharrow system so great, is because the more you play with a character, you can essentially, if you play with a character enough, you can get every skill, every spell, everything.
Very cool.
Provided you you play with them enough.
All right.
And I
Very cool.
love it because there's like this pre-made character I play with called Maria Havana Daring, and I've actually played as her on streams before. She was a pre-made character like the one we're making now, and I kid you not, I can attack like 6 times in one turn.
Oh, very cool. That's a lot of attacks. You're
It's
basically,
a lot.
I guess in D&D that would be the monk, getting getting a ton of attacks in a single round.
Yeah, except in terms of actual direct translation to what it is, to what it would be in D&D, she's a soldier.
Oh, fun.
So
a lot of attacks.
She would fall under fighting class. She'd be a fighter.
Super fun.
This game allows you to pull so much funny and weird stuff that Dungeons and Dragons just doesn't let you do.
Yeah. A bit more freedom in that aspect, in that respect.
A lot more. There are so very few ways you can actually lock yourself out of using magic. It's insane.
Super fun.
Yeah, so if you're playing a physical fighting class but you want to still cast few spells, you can.
Okay.
Oh my word, this is
Seems like it would lead to a lot of crazy sessions.
Oh yeah. Half the time it does. It leads to a lot of chaos and I love it. So the servants thing is basically the number of employees she's able to have fully loyal to her and under her control. And because of her high charm, insanely high charm, she gets 20.
Super, she's got her own little mini army.
Yeah, that more than covers everybody in the birdcage easily. Oh man.
Super fun.
Yeah. Yep, that it is. That it is. And there's like, oh man. There's almost like no way you can lose with this one.
Oh yeah? Is it a powerful character? At least when it comes to charisma, right?
Yeah. When you make a feat, you have to roll a percentile and you have to get within the percentile or you fail, right?
Sure.
45 is the actual percentage thing, which doesn't really make sense for a 19, but again, it'll increase as you play with her. Or a bit more.
Okay.
But still, there's like very few ways you can actually fail with this character because of how you've got all her shit. Like, oh my gosh, this is nuts.
I mean, not all of her stuff is high. It's mostly just the charisma.
Charm, but you would be surprised how far charm alone can get you in a campaign.
Yeah, just like in the real world. Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Divine spell slots. So essentially this will allow... So arcane and divine are under 2 completely different slots. You can combine the 2 into a massive pool if you want to, but they are actually different spell slot systems.
Okay.
And I have herself listed as her deity. Self-care is how she worships.
Makes sense. That's very Maya.
Yeah. Okay. So, she has one
deity or one
spell slot.
Divine spell slot.
Yeah.
She only needs the one.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And again, you can combine arcane if you both your spell slots together in a massive pool if you want. It's just there for funsies.
No, super cool.
And, yeah.
I've been saying that a lot today.
Spell failure. Her spell failure percentile, honestly is actually really good. Because you kind of have to roll a critical failure in order to fail with it. It's listed as 0 in here.
So spell failure percent, the 0%, like you want a lower percent on a spell failure, I'm guessing?
Yeah, you would
it's like the percentage that...
1.
What was that?
You basically have to roll a 1.
Oh, well, that works.
Yeah, and one thing that's fun is that this game has a special system where if you roll like a critical success or a critical failure, they have like they do like this back it up thing where you roll again to see how good or bad your success or failure is.
Huh, fun.
Yeah, creates a lot of fun moments where it's like I swear to you, I have rolled a nat 1 and then a nat 20 at least once on a following roll.
Yeah.
It's like, and the referee was like, okay, so you failed the task successfully.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
task successfully failed.
Yes, it was a fun time.
It very much sounds like it.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with this. And honestly, I'd want to get more people into this game so that way I could at least try to run a one-shot.
Oh, that sounds like it'd be... I mean, you just got to keep working on it,
Oh yeah.
talking to more people about it, talking people up to it.
Yeah, and this will help out a lot.
Yeah. You can edit down, let people, make people... Basically, as a guide to help people learn how to play the game.
Yep. And I am so glad I didn't choose to have her as a natural caster.
Yeah.
She only gets 2 spell slots total.
It's just how the character sheet, it's how the character translates over.
Yeah.
You'll get more over time, I'm sure.
Yep. And considering once we actually get to that spot, I'm gonna have her do a thing. I'm just gonna directly translate her spell list from Dungeons & Dragons over to this. Just to make it easier on everything. So she's gonna have this massive spell list, and yet she's only gonna be able to cast 2 spells before needing to rest.
Hey, she gets 1 a day. That's enough.
Technically 2 a day, but yeah.
Technically.
Maximum spells per rank. That's gonna limit us a fair bit. So I'd only be able to pick 10, but I'm sure her spell list isn't that big for that to be too much of an issue.
Yeah, I think I think the spell list from the original D&D version was I think 18 spells long.
Yeah, when I tell you there's easily 3 times more spells listed in this game.
Yeah.
With even more specificity. Like, there's one spell in here that is also that is basically metronome from Pokemon.
So it's a random spell?
Yeah, it's called
random spell effect.
And it is such a joy.
Oh, it sounds like it.
Yeah. Yeah, you basically... Oh, right, you have a 9. Boop. Bada boop.
Okay.
And your lifting is a 50. And I forgot to put pulling on here. Whoop!
You forgot to put the pull. It's like pulling strength.
Yeah, it's pulling strength, and that is at 75. And the thing is, that's also a percentile roll.
Okay.
So pretty low chance of failure there. But
Oh,
then
that's good news
there's
for
your
her.
feet. 45. Not as low as the other. Yeah, not as low as the other two, but considering might is basically what you're able to physically do, kind of makes sense. Then there's how much alcohol you can take.
Technically, if she's immune to toxins, wouldn't that mean she doesn't take
Yes, but
she can
that's
drink as
just
much
like
alcohol as she wants?
that's also just like what I like to refer to as constitution and vitality. Just 'cause
Okay.
that's generally what you use it the most for, is alcohol
Okay.
tolerance. Like, get me wrong, in nearly every group I'm in, that is mainly what's been happening. Is only vitality rolls is like on alcohol tolerance.
Okay.
It's so fun. I'm trying to think what else. How much information do you have on the farm?
I'm seeing everything that you're entering in.
No, the farm as in your story, because I need to fill in the silence and stop talking so I can get this done faster.
Oh, no problem. So what do you mean, like information? How much information I have on the
Like
farm?
Alex Farm, that sort of
Eric's
thing.
farm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing.
So all the character names I base off of like general, like I try to make their name like fairly punny. Like Eric's was ARIC, and it's Eric as in arid, like an
Like a
which
hot
is
summer's
supposed to be.
day.
Yeah, which is funny because he was supposed to be like he's a cold giant. So it's more like a barren style, like a tundra. But I couldn't think of any names based off of that. The farm was actually something that was like when I initially created the first characters I created for the webcomic were Eric and Gunter. And they technically weren't even created for the webcomic. They were created for something completely different. I was just making like fun doodles with another artist friend of mine, and their characters kind of just grew from there. One moment.
Also, I didn't
Sorry, I had
even
to sneeze.
realize they were puns.
Well, it's the puns have evolved so much over time that the names like it's not really noticeable unless I point it out.
Yeah, it really isn't, but honestly, I love that. That is so much fun.
Yeah. So the farm is actually a farm that's supposed to that's supposed to be raising uh monster livestock. But that's like the one place that is like, it's funny that it was like the first location that I created technically for the characters to inhabit, and it's the place I've explored by far the least. And that's mostly just because I'm not very good at drawing animals in general. So I avoid it whenever possible, which I've got to get better about because I do want to do more substantive storytelling at that location in the future.
That makes sense. Base attack rate is a 4. So base attack rate is basically how many attacks you can do per turn.
Okay.
There's an actual skill you can get that doubles it.
Okay.
Which is the one I have from Rio Havana Daring. She has a base
So that's how you
attack
get
rate
all of your
4
different
already.
attacks as a fighter.
Yeah, she already has a base attack rate of 4.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here now. And in addition to that, you get bonus faith points for character creation.
Okay.
So that means you're starting out with 6 faith points. So that's very good.
Awesome.
And you get one... wait, hang on. Your power score is a 79 currently. That means you get 4 extra talents that you can pick from.
Very cool. So I go back to the talent page.
Yes, exactly.
Would that be guild skills or?
No, it's literally labeled as talents.
Okay. Oh, there it is. So I get 4 more talents that I get to pick from.
Yep.
Let's go with probably. Do I have to? Is there anything specifically? Can I only choose from specific sections, or can I choose any of these?
You can pick any 4 you want.
I'd probably go with hypnotism, wrangling, air based.
Wrangling
There
air.
at the
That is
bot.
a good one.
Uh
That
huh.
is a very good one.
Uh, weather sense, which would be row 68B, and I would probably go with massage 46B, just based purely off the her character alone.
Yeah, I can see it. I bet she gives up. What's his face? I can't remember now.
Willem.
Willem, yeah. I'm willing to bet she gives Willem a massage every time he visits.
Probably. He has to return the favor, though. It's a barter system.
I'm sure it is. Okay, let's see here. Now we are on to the resistances, which are a different thing from what we did before.
Okay.
So there's 4 different no, 3 different kinds of. Where's spectral? I must have accidentally deleted spiritual resistance for some reason. Okay, there's 4 different kinds of resistance here:
Mm-hmm.
physical, mental, magical, and spiritual.
Okay.
And okay. And so I just get these base modifiers, which is going for you is going to be +1 across the board. So that will be very nice for you. And we roll a single D4 for this, unless there's specific things in your character sheet you gave me that factor into this.
I don't think I picked anything specific.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna hide this away until I can get to your until we can pick your spells.
Okay.
Just because that I'm really not seeing much of a use for anything else. That, and I also I've only skimmed through it.
No problem.
So we're gonna roll.
I just gave it to you today, so that's fine. That's understandable.
Yeah. 1d4. Whoa. Okay, hello. Stay on the yellow PG thing, please. Thank you. So we roll 1d4 for all of them.
Okay.
And then your whatever we roll, it'll also add on to your modifier. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. I'm just going to read directly from this thing here. So,
Okay.
To make a resistance roll, take a 20-sided die, take 1d20, and roll it once. If the amount rolled is equal to or less than your character's score, then he or she has resisted the effect. Your referee will then ask you to... Oh, that's for role-playing, the actual thing. I have it right.
Okay.
I have it right. It's a d4. You roll a d4, and that's your base resistance, essentially. So this could go either really well, and you get a 4 and able to resist a lot of stuff,
Or it's awful.
or very poorly. I wish my main camera was working, because then I could show you my dice.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not. So
That's all right.
let's see here. A 2. Physical, mental, magical, or spiritual.
So what do I have to pick? Like what she's
Yeah, which
weak
one
to?
do you want the 2 under?
Go through those again. What are the options?
Physical, mental, magical, or spiritual.
Probably mental.
Okay. I'm gonna be re-rolling ones, just so you know. Just because mine is too bad as to have a single one. Another 2.
Okay. So probably physical.
Okay. Please get a good number. 3! That's better.
Okay. So there's only one left, right? So that would be
No, there's 2. Magical and spiritual.
probably spiritual.
Okay. And last one. A freaking 2.
Okay, that goes with the last one then. Not too broken up about it. Things happen. It's how the dice roll.
me.
No, it's all right.
Ah. Oh, well, you can't control the will of the dice.
Nope, you can never control the dice. That's just something you got to learn in the TTRPG
Yeah.
realm.
Okay, let's see now. Bonus Rachel points, which I have here, but those I'm just... What's left on here, I am just not gonna worry about. I can figure it out with my friend later.
Yeah, no problem.
So
So,
now we are into this section where I need to go under go under spells, and find the thing.
Under the divine spells?
Under the characters. I'm gonna be switching between divine spells and arcane.
Okay.
On here. So here's what I'm gonna need you to do. We're gonna use up your starting CGPs. So currently you have 545 from character creation.
Okay.
I want you to look at wherever you want. Guild skills, talents, combat skills, any of them.
Okay.
And just find where you want to use those things. Where you want to use the CGPs on. I'm going to turn up the background music because this is just going to be a long period of silence.
I'm sorry, so how many... So, like, I have how many points to choose from?
545.
All right, so I'm not quite sure how this works. Like, so what am I picking?
So basically, CGP is a special kind of currency that the referee decides how it gets used. So, essentially, they're like special points that you get for doing good roleplay, making the referee or GM laugh, that sort of thing. And you can you can essentially spend them on getting new skills and different even talents and even things you can do in combat. They're
okay, so
points you use to upgrade your character and expand your skill tree.
Okay, so I have 500 points to spend basically.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm not seeing okay, so I see all right, so I'm on the martial skills page. And if I look at like innate elemental spell, that's 2.5 thousand points to buy. Okay, so I basically can pick one skill.
If it's worth 500, yes, but conversely you could also pick like 250 CGP skills.
Okay. Sure, I'll look through those and see which ones I want.
Yeah, just look through all of them, see what ones you want. Percentage skills are also a lot cheaper, so you'd be able to get a lot of those if you wanted to.
Okay.
Never mind, on the skills I'm probably... Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to actually, like, ask about the... Some of these are more obvious on the comparisons for it, but I might actually have to find somebody and ask.
No problem.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna need to, like, go record separately from this, unfortunately, on which ones can actually translate over and to what they can.
Okay.
But I have picked out a few that it just makes sense for her to have.
Okay.
So I gave her Elemental Blast because she has Elementalism. And that just seems like the closest thing to me. I'll change it later if the creator of the game says that it's actually translates to something different. Morph Minor, because if I'm looking at it, she has like Disguise Self.
Yeah.
Which I personally think translates to that. Let's see here. Under Divine, I did not give her literally anything. Okay.
So I was picking under divine skills, so I thought that
Oh, nope. I gave her one divine skill. Cure self.
Okay.
Because, again, self-care is how she worships, right?
Yep.
So, and lastly, she has comprehend languages. The hypnotism thing is just because she has the hypnotism skill.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that she'd have that under the spell list too.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Anyway, so what did you pick?
So I under the divine skills, so since I had 500 points, I went with uh Faith of Followers. I'm not sure what that is, but it feels like it's something that would match
That's
with her.
basically the morale of the people who follow you.
Okay. And then I went with Destructive Mental for the other ability.
So you can deal emotional damage.
Basically, yes.
Oh, where is it? Damage mental. Here we go. That's healing. Where is it? The mental thing you're referencing.
It would be under the divine skills, row 21, first column.
Oh, there it is. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, it looked different than what I thought. It's been a minute since I looked at this.
No, you're fine.
Okay, then. Okay, is that it? I think.
I think that was that was 500 points. So.
Yeah, you have 35 left.
Oh, I have 45 points left.
Yep.
Let's go with.
If you want, you don't have to spend them here. We can just leave the remaining 45 for the viewers when I eventually get off my butt and actually post the video for them to use.
Yeah, let's leave those last 45 for that.
Okay, good.
See if they can find anything that fits underneath that.
Alright, and aside from what I need to ask from the hilt about, that will be it. That's it for Maya.
Fun. Cool.
So, thank you so much for coming along.
No problem. It was fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this too.
Yeah, so it's always fun to see a character translated from a comic to a D&D and then to a completely different rule set.
Yeah, it's always so much fun. I'm hoping in the future I can collab with more people. And if you want, we could do this again, because I do have one prepared for Alec. For Alec,
okay.
If you want. But
yeah,
that's
might be able to schedule something like that.
Yeah, maybe. But in the meantime, hope all of my lovely viewers have a great rest of their day, month, year, whatever you may have. So, bye!
Alright, bye!
Boo! Do you like my Maya plush? So, I find it took me a while, both to get this plush I pre-ordered when I did the before I even collabed with maccus, which I love this plush, it's so cute. But it also took me a while to figure out which spells suit her best, especially since I A, couldn't remember what half of those spells did, and B, I had to narrow it down to 10. Eventually, after a while of thinking on it and trying to will myself to look up the spells on D&D, even though I have the actual 5e handbook with me, but eventually I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go look at the spell list and what that's on here and see which ones, you know, actually sound like they fit her the best. So, I've managed to pick out 10 additional spells that fit her the best. I'm just going to read them off to you for right now, but let's start with Arcane. Now, her arcane spells are Hypnotism, which, you know, functions just like hypnotism would. Random Prismatic, which I mentioned it in a previous video before, is actually is basically Lenharrow's version of metronome. So, any random spell could go off at any given time, given random prismatic, which I personally felt it fit her, given her chaotic nature. If you've read the comics, you know. Well, actually, if you've watched shorts too, like if you know Marcus Norman, you know exactly how chaotic Maya is. So, then she, of course, has comprehend languages, which of course came with her guildmaster thing, her guild thing. And let's see here, fly. And so for her, the spell fly, all it would really do is allow her to let someone else fly with her. Essentially, it's a little redundant considering her wings. But you know what? I've seen fly cast on other people, or even just imbued into an object, so that way the person could ride around on it without having to use a spell slot. I'm looking at you, Gray. Anyway, she has permanent illusion, which when you first get her, when you first play with her, she won't be able to cast at first, mainly because it is a rank 10 spell. So it's gonna be a minute, but that is just my way of giving you a little treat, a little something to strive for when it comes to playing with Maya. You keep playing with her, you can pull some really crazy stuff. And she has Ultimate Morph. Again, that's another high-ranking one. Again, another little treat, but depending on the referee, they could let you cast it like maybe once a day or something. Which all Ultimate Morph does is just allow you to transform into scary dragon terrors, into scary things. Or whatever you want, really. For as long as you want. You can even use it to curse another being into another form, which is awesome. And Vitalize. Vitalize is actually one that some of the people I play with call an essential spell, which essentially allows you 5 temporary hit points. You can cast it once per rest, and it'll last until you use those extra hit points up. So you cast that enough and avoid combat enough times, you'll wind up just as unkillable as Maya is. And lastly, and that's it for her arcane spells. The rest are what in her divine spell list. Which for divine spells, I basically just decided to give her what I like to call the healer combo. Since I figured since self-care was a big thing for Maya, like both in the books and both in the comics and the shorts, I would give her some special stuff that would let her that would essentially let her be your team's fail-safe if anything went wrong. So she has, of course, Smite. You cannot have a deity that cannot smite anything. I'm sorry, but no. She has to smite. So she has Smite. I gave her Unseen Ladder because A, I thought it'd be funny, and B, Maya, when it comes to the birdcage, tends to mess with the dimension a little bit, and Unseen Ladder does just that. It allows you to create a ladder that is invisible anytime, anywhere, any place. You want to get that high ground in an otherwise smooth plane? Unseen Ladder, just climb right up. And this would also allow her to, which Unseen ladder lasts as long as you can concentrate on the ladder. So that will actually help your team out in escaping a needed combat. Or running from the authorities. Either or. And so she has Alleviate 1, which essentially, if I can just have it right here, which cures one minor ailment on one creature of your choice. Essentially, you have a common cold? Go to Maya! If she's in a good mood, she'll cure it for you. But most of the time, she probably won't. Okay. After that, she has Cure Self. You think I'm gonna have a goddess. We are gonna be playing with a goddess, and she's not gonna have a way to heal herself of wounds and injuries? Yeah, you crazy, man. You crazy if you think I'm doing that. And lastly, emotion. I actually gave a character I had with emotion once. I honestly, I was pretty creative with how I used it. I only played a couple sessions with that character, but honestly, the few times I used emotion were awesome. So emotion is essentially you can temporarily imbue one creature of your choice with a specific emotion. So let's say for a second you're trying to sneak somewhere, but you don't have like any smoke bombs or any abilities that actually let you sneak. How I used emotion to make the person sad. Sad enough to cry to bawl their eyes out, and essentially let me sneak past. And you can't really do anything because you're crying and you can't see. So that's how I used it. You can also use it to make a person feel joy. Or, let's face it, Maya loves to pull the intimidation card. You can make them feel scared so you can get advantage on your intimidation check, on your feat of intimidation. So, that's her spell. That's her final spell list. I know it's not a lot, but she will get more as time goes on. So, in the meantime, remember, you want to play as Maya in your campaigns? Check the description. Oh my word, that makes her look bald. Hang on, just gotta... There it is. Like and subscribe. Check the description for her character sheet. And in the meantime, like and subscribe, follow for more, and comment what characters you want. What other characters you want me to do down in the description below. And in the meantime, remember to follow the example of Maya and practice self-care.